Most people see this man and see a superhero. They see the Navy SEAL, the world record holder, the toughest man alive. But they don't know the truth. They don't know the 300-pound man who spent his nights eating chocolate donuts and spraying for cockroaches. They don't know the kid who was broken by his father and failed by the system. David Goggins didn't find greatness. He created it out of his own hell. And today, he's going to tell you why your excuses are lies. My story starts in hell. It doesn't start with trophies or accolades. It starts with a belt. It starts with my father, a man who built a business on the backs of his own family, turning us into slaves. We worked at his skate rink every single night, until well past midnight, even on school nights. I wasn't a kid. I was an employee who didn't get paid. And when I stepped out of line, when I was too tired, when I just wanted to be a child, the payment came in the form of his fists and his belt. The physical abuse was one thing. The mental torment was another. He broke me down, piece by piece, until I believed I was worthless. We finally escaped, my mother and I. We ran with nothing. But the escape wasn't freedom. It was just a different kind of prison. We moved to a small town in Indiana, and that's where I met a new monster, racism. I was the only black kid. The N-word was spray painted on my car. I had guns pulled on me. Every day was a battle for survival. And school. School was a nightmare. The trauma from my childhood had left me with a severe learning disability and a stutter. I couldn't read. I cheated on every test just to get by. I was in a constant state of fight or flight. My brain was scrambled. The system wasn't there to help me. The teachers looked at me, this broken kid, and just pushed me along. They failed me. I graduated high school barely able to read. I was a shell, haunted by the ghosts of my past, convinced that I was dumb, weak, and destined for nothing. I had every excuse in the world to fail. And for a while, I used every single one of them. My life became a joke. I ballooned up to nearly 300 pounds. My job. I was an exterminator on the graveyard shift. My nightly routine was a box of donuts from 7-Eleven and a large chocolate milkshake. I'd go into the filthiest restaurants and roach-infested holes you could imagine and spray for vermin. I was living like a cockroach myself, hiding in the dark, getting fat, soft, and pathetic. I hated the man I saw in the mirror. I couldn't even look at myself. And one night, exhausted after another shift, I came home, turned on the TV, and my life changed forever. It was a documentary about the Navy SEALs. I saw these men going through Hell Week, enduring unimaginable pain, pushing their bodies and minds to the absolute limit. And in that moment, something clicked. I saw a way out. I didn't see glory. I saw suffering. I saw a way to forge a new man in the fires of adversity. That night, I made a decision. I stood in front of the mirror, the accountability mirror. I looked at the fat, sad, broken man staring back at me. And I told him the truth. No more lies. No more excuses. I told him he was fat, lazy, and a disgrace. I wrote down everything I hated about myself on sticky notes and plastered them all over that mirror. It was my new reality. My new starting line. The goal: lose 106 pounds in under 3 months to make the weight requirement for SEAL training. The old me was about to die. The journey was brutal. Every single day was war. Waking up at 4:30 a.m. to ride a stationary bike for hours. My first run, I couldn't even make it a quarter mile. My body screamed. My mind begged me to quit. The weight came off, but it was agony. Every pound was paid for in sweat and pain. I made the weight limit with only a few days to spare and shipped off to Goggins, the SEAL selection course. And that's where the real hell began. People talk about Hell Week. It's 130 hours of continuous training, with less than 4 hours of sleep total. It's designed to break you. And it broke me. The first time. I got pneumonia and double stress fractures in my shin. I was rolled back, sent home to recover, and start with the next class. Most guys would quit. My instructors told me to quit. But quitting meant going back to being that 300-pound cockroach sprayer. It wasn't an option. So I came back. And I failed again. More stress fractures. Another medical rollback. The pain was excruciating. I was spitting up blood. My body was shattered. But my will was not. I refused to ring that bell. I came back a third time. I went through Hell Week for a third time. And on that third attempt, with a broken body held together by sheer will, I made it. I became a Navy SEAL. I had gone to war with myself and won. I proved that the broken kid, the fat exterminator, could become one of the most elite warriors on the planet. My time as a SEAL taught me how to suffer, but my journey was far from over. After leaving the military, I needed a new challenge. I needed to keep forging my mind. So, I got into ultramarathon running. The first time I tried, I hadn't trained. I just signed up for a 100-mile race to raise money for a charity. My body completely shut down around mile 70. I had kidney failure. My feet were broken. I was urinating blood. But I refused to quit. It was in that crucible of pain that I developed my most powerful mental tools. The first is the cookie jar. The cookie jar isn't a place for weakness. It's an arsenal. It's a mental list of every single horrible thing you've ever overcome. When you think you can't go on, you reach into that cookie jar and you pull out a memory. You remember failing Hell Week twice. You remember running on broken feet. You remember being that broken kid who couldn't read. You remember that you have survived worse. And that gives you the fuel to take one more step. Then there's the 40% rule. Our minds are designed to protect us. They are soft. When your mind starts screaming at you to stop, when you feel like you have nothing left in the tank, you're only at 40% of what you're truly capable of. That feeling of exhaustion is a lie. You have to push past that initial barrier. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's where real growth happens. It's in the 60% you haven't even touched yet. With these tools, I kept pushing the boundaries of human potential.